My name is Angelina Sousa, and I am a senior at Hudson High School, and I am very proud to be the 2024 Youth of the Year for MetroWest. So it all started when I was 6, and my mom told me that I was going to be going to the Boys and Girls Club for the first time after school. It was really the only option, and at the time it was the most affordable for us, but knowing I was being forced to go somewhere that I didn't feel very comfortable going to, I didn't know a lot of people, didn't really seem the best thing to me at the time. But then I came to realize that the club ended up becoming a home for me, and it was a place that I had felt safe, and in the time I was going through a transition at home, and the club offered me a very safe place to be in that moment. Very quickly, the staff had helped me become very comfortable where in the environment I was in, and these staff members were high school members like myself, and most of them became the most influential people in my life, and these staff helped me through moments that I wasn't really prepared for at a young age. One of the most moments that I can remember was I was in 3rd grade, and I was coming off of the bus from the club, going to the club, and my dad, my biological dad, whom I don't really have a relationship with or no sort of connection with, had told me that he was going to be taking me off of the bus, and he wanted to come say a goodbye because he was, quote unquote, going away for a while. But later years in my life, I kind of translated that into he was going to jail, which I didn't seem to understand in 3rd grade. This was a moment that I wasn't very prepared for as a 3rd grader. I don't think any 3rd grader would be very prepared for that. But I know that these teenagers, who I then called a staff, offered me help and support to overcome moments that I didn't know how to overcome, and I didn't know how to deal with those emotions, but they kind of offered me that support at the time. So that was very essential in my life at the time. In later years of my life, I started to grow older, but I was never too old for the club. I had noticed there were people around me that were becoming too cool to go to the club and wanted to go off and experience other things. But for some reason, I just felt like that wasn't for me, and I still wanted to somehow be a part of the club. And that's where I had questioned how I can do that, even though a lot of the people that I had grew up with kind of grew out of that phase of their life. And that's when I started volunteering for Keystone in middle school. So I was offered the position to kind of just help around after school, just sell things to the kids at Keystone, and just kind of have that responsibility in my life at such a young age. And I think that if I didn't have that sense of responsibility so young, I wouldn't know a lot of the things I know today and be the person who I am today. It was an opportunity for me to give back to a community that has given me so much, and I'm very grateful for that. When I was given this responsibility, I was also given respect, and that was from the kids that were coming there. They treated me as if I was one of the staffs that they had to respect every day, and they even considered me one of the staff, called me a staff, and I was also given that from the staffs. We are a very big community at the Hudson Club that I now work at, and they kind of very quickly made me feel a part of that family within the staff, and I had gotten that respect that without a question I was given since a little girl. So knowing that this was a very crucial part of my life, I know now, being a staff member, that I can reciprocate that back into the kids that I work with today. I've been a staff now for nearly 2 years, and I just feel so happy knowing that I can make a little kid feel the same way I felt as a little kid. And I always say that one of the best feelings is going home knowing that you were the reason that a little kid wiped their tears. No matter what they're going through, little kids feel it's often hard for them to be understood because adults or even teenagers, there's not much connection. You don't have so much in common because you're at different phases of your life, but there are many things that kids just want people to understand about them, no matter what age they are. And so I realized that sometimes there were kids that their parents were going through a divorce at home, which was similar to what I was dealing with at their age. So knowing that I could help them through that makes me feel very, very happy. Or it could be something so little as just two kids meeting each other and becoming friends by the end of the day, and knowing that you were the reason that they were talking to each other or playing with each other at the club. Just, you go home with such a good feeling, and I feel what the staffs had felt from when I was a kid. And so it's a really good feeling being a part of the club and being a kid growing up, and then kind of full circle moment of when you become the staff, seeing that. It's a very good feeling. The Boys and Girls Club not only shaped who I am, but it also ignited my passion for making a difference in the world, being a voice for those who don't seem to have one. My parents came here kind of searching for that American dream because they immigrated from Portugal, and I know that my mom over there, she kind of dealt with that as a little kid, and it was hard for her, but I never fully understood how that felt for her growing up as a kid until I saw that within the club community. I see a lot of new kids coming in, trying to navigate with a new culture, feeling out of place, and kind of struggling with that language barrier. And as a bilingual staff myself, I have been able to connect these kids and just offer them that sense of belonging that they deserve, like I did when I was little. So my dream is to continue this work not only within the club but beyond the club, and my plan is to become an immigration lawyer after high school, after this year. And it's a really good feeling, like I said, of offering that for people and knowing that one day I can make someone else who just came to this country feel that sense of belonging that I might have did as a little kid, even if it's not necessarily the same problem that I'm facing. So I am very deeply committed to that, and it's a long journey ahead, but I know that if I really want it, I can get it. So thank you so much for all of you tonight, for supporting the club and kids like me. The club means so much to me and so many people, and I wouldn't be possible without your support. Thank you for your generosity in listening to my story. It is an honor, sorry. It is an honor to be the 2024 Youth of the Year. Thank you.